All right. Welcome to this video. Thank you so much for tuning in and sharing this now moment with myself and with one another. If you haven't seen these videos before, welcome back. If you have, my intention is the highest levels of love, light, benevolence for all. And we're just gonna roll right into it. I just did a little energy update on my last video. So I'm gonna go into flow for this one. So I invite you just to take a deep breath in and a nice long exhale. And of course, this is for the highest levels of love, light, intention, oneness, unity. And as we sit within these new energies and these bandwidths come rolling forward, they come rolling through us, from us, around us. They transmute certain frequencies that have been embedded in the bedrock for, I'm hearing many centuries, and that's a play on words. They come forth from this embedding in. So this is a big play on words. I'm seeing like when you embed in something, when it's ingrained in something, when it's coded in something, and I'm seeing layers of like sedimentary rock. And our architecture is interwoven with this fabric. And as we loosen up the fabric and shake out the bits that no longer serve us, the BYTS, we take a bite out of what is our true nutritional base. This is all a play on words. It's like in reference to foundation, music, like a baseline. It's like a sound. As we transmute through these layers, as we mute that which no longer connects with our highest layer, our highest architecture, our hierarchy. Hearing, hear all, hierarchy. Much can be gleaned from this process. Much can be learned as we yearn to stretch out of the old cocoon that held us in bondage before, in some framework that we were feeling. I'm hearing a pressure cooker. Some of us might feel like that right now, right? Little pressure cooker. You guys, there's a lot going on in the bones of the body, in the blood, and it literally feels sometimes like we want to explode. And we're being invited to recognize that as this happens, codes come up, lots of information comes up. It's like birthing. And so we just, let me go back into the message. Dok og oid in the hint estia ot ohan. Mohan the high stek et ok on the hay. Andok ondoi wawa hai in the ha ok on the. Hear now through these layers, this voice that speaks through this voice, this energy that speaks behind this voice. For in pure intent, in pure intention, we rebirth our faculties that have yet, I'm seeing were lying dormant, that have yet to be exposed. And as we come into alignment with our higher architecture, I'm also seeing reference to arrows, gamos, arrow, hero, arrow of truth. As this springs forth, and I'm hearing warriors of light, but it's like wards, wardens, words of light. Many players step forward as transparency. Transparency. So this is a big play on words. For all is shining. The shine is coming upon us. It is from us. It is bubbling up from within the many layers that have been, I'm hearing future exposed. So they're showing me like there's a lot of timelines, not only from the past, but from the future, that are showing up and presenting themselves for us to kind of see through the layers. I'm seeing bandwidths, and it's that space in between. And I've been getting this synchronicity so have some of my fellow star seeds and light workers. For it knocks, it bubbles up from within, it resurfaces, and we are then able to, I'm seeing so much, I'm just trying to simplify it. They're showing me a stork carrying a package, like a baby. It's been birthed, it's bringing us as a gift. Orc, stork, orc, having reference to orca, orchestrating. The time bow has been pulled back and all is revealed. So they're showing me like the archers, step forward, take your place. Let off that string. Let that string sing, zing, shoot your arrows. In unison, information, informity, informality. In truth, being the representatives that you came here to be your highest truth. So they're showing me all of these people, and there are leaders, and the leaders of the pack, the archers, the beings of light, step forward, take your place, arch your bow, line it up. And these beings that are doing this, the forefront, the people of the forefront, the beings of the forefront, must stand in unity. And this is not just with each other, it's with themselves. So when I mention truth, truth is love, not in the sense that we have been taught. It is acceptance, it is grace, it is for the greater good of all, it is oneness, it is forgiveness, it is forgetfulness, it is unity, it is sovereignty, it is grace, it is boundless yet containing boundaries. So it's like, even though we're one, we're not, they show me all these archers and these people getting ready to shoot their bows. And it's not like somebody coming over and kind of nudging this other archer out of the way and saying, I like where you're standing, I'm going to come stand there. Or getting into that person's space. We're standing together in our own sovereignty. It isn't about what kind of bow or arch that person next to you is using. Find your own. Step into your own space. You are the sovereign being. You are shooting your arrow. And it has to come from balance and harmony. Otherwise, that arrow is going to go the wrong direction. It isn't going to line up, and it's not going to work. Kuwait ishtik undok o waendet iwak on. So as you walk within your skin, as you walk the path of your ancestors, yet within a new framework, a new dimensional access point, you are not in the same process as your ancestors were. You are not within the same diametric composition as your ancestors. Therefore, you must not walk the exact path of the old framework. They're showing me like pulling through and threading through and utilizing that, but walking your own journey. For in this new composition, you are composing a brand new orchestra. They're showing me Spanx, you know, those Spanx, like you pull everything up and it's like it's pulling everything in. They were saying me like the Star Spangled Orchestra. Like we're coming together in a tight-knit orchestration and we're creating this unity forefront, and we're bringing forward the teachings of our forefathers and mothers in our walk as one. For those of you that do not feel ready to shoot your arrow, for you are shaky, for you are not sure what you should be lining up with, lay down your bow, take the pressure off, go within, for within you will find the instrument in order to, they're showing me a harp, in order to tune your arrow to the true space that lines up with purity, that lines up with grace. So they're showing me like this way nobody gets hurt in the process. Like it's time to really make sure that moving forward we're not hurting people in our journey. There are ways that we can do this by making sure that we're standing in our sovereignty. So they want me to clarify a little bit of that. All right. I had said before that our feelings can't really get hurt unless we allow them to get hurt, right? We're saying, okay, my feelings are hurt. Those are my feelings. I can choose whether to respond or not respond. But what they're showing me is going a little deeper and recognizing it is about self-love, but it isn't about being selfish. So it's like if we know that we need to make changes in our life, there is a way that we can do it with compassion and make sure that we're lining up with our trajectory that is for the greater good of all, meaning there's a lot of pictures that they're showing me. So it's like if you're going to make that change, it needs to be in congruency or in alignment with neutral, not other things. It's neutrality. It's finding peace. And it's got to come from within. It can't from, like, there's a lot of pictures they're showing me and I'm trying to figure out how to, it's like you can't shoot your bow and pull down a block and be like, I'm taking this with me. Because it's not your block to take with you, right? Let it go. So baggage, letting go of that baggage. So that's a whole other can of worms. As we come into alignment with these strategy new strategies. We let go of old fears, stratosphere, and we see the strata, the layers that we are essentially peeling back, that we are fitting between, that we are expanding out. And old layers then crumble. And they're showing me like the walls of Jericho. So as a united collective, as a group of light workers that are working towards the same, in oneness, but not in the same way. Like all these archers have got their own unique special bow and their own special arrow, and they all look different. But they're all unifying on love, and they're all unifying on, they're saying hallowed ground, like a sacredness, respecting the earth, respecting each other. Yeah. So as we create this sound, it's like we're creating, as we go inside and we do this heart work, implosion, connect to source, anchor, ground, care for our bodies, respect one another, convene with Mother Nature, get in the water. That's all self, higher self stuff. Not being selfish, like I'm going to do this because I want it, or I'm going to choose this because I feel like it's good for me right now. We have to find that what feels good right now isn't necessarily in everybody's best interest, and is the timing right? So there's a lot to look at, but as we find our own sparkle, what happens is this goes out into a ripple, and it creates a harmonic convergence. It creates a harmonic wave. And essentially that harmony is vibrated through our bones, through our blood, through our intention behind our words, through our organized thoughts, our heart and intentional focus of the highest trajectory of unity consciousness, of being in harmony with earth and all of the animals on earth. And so as we create this together, this uniformation of abundance, it literally sings. And what happens is the whole universe responds, and it creates a tuning fork that we all harmonize in. And those that are out of tune, out of alignment, can't help but pick up on it. And some won't. I want to share, it's like when some people hear sound bowls or tuning forks, not everybody likes it, because in some, it can be that they're in a deep resistance to it, or they can be highly sensitive to it. So there will be discomfort for some. And then again, as we work through that resistance and the walls of Jericho come falling down, it allows everything to be revealed, and then we can see, oh, that's why I was hearing that sound. That's why I was feeling this way. There are my brothers and sisters that have come through this barrier. And you guys, it isn't just about the human liberation. This is all across the galaxies. I'm hearing all across the omniverse. What's that song by the Beatles? All across the universe. It's like so much responds. It goes beyond our earth plane. It literally goes into, if you ever look up the pictures of string theory, it's beautiful. And you can visualize that. I always used to see things as bubbles with strings moving through these bubbles. And that's what it looks like. It's like this harmonic energy that travels out and sets off explosion isn't the right word, but it sets off time capsules. It sets off key codes. It sets off parts of things, telling them, it's like when the sun rises. Some flowers know to open and expand. We're sending out an energy, a vibration, a light that literally is a combination lock for certain portals to be opened, activated, for certain places in the earth and throughout the galaxies to open, and other things to reconnect. It's literally, that's what I'm seeing. So that's why everybody talks about how important it is to do the inner work. Because in doing that, we are the micro that affects the macro. You can be rest assured that what's going on inside is going on outside. So that's another message that's been coming through really strongly, is allowing those layers of the onion to peel back to reveal the heart and to kind of let that all digest. And as we unfold and as we flower, as we basically, it's a signal. It's a giant signal. I posted something about being in stereo. It's a sonar wave. It's a song wave. It's a vibrational frequency. It reverberates through each individual complex, cellular complex. It reverberates through the cells in the earth. It's beautiful. So we invite you to go within and convene on this mystery, so to speak. And then they're showing me convene like vein, like recognize the veins that this is all connected to, in order to convey all of the complexities and recognize that they are merely an integral part of the gears in this entire operating network, in this entire operating belt. Much will be revealed in the coming months. Will we quake in the flood of incoming information? Will we bound together in boundless formation, allowing our, so they're showing me cells and how cells have membranes, but they still work together. So we are all individual, unique expressions. It's not like I'm going to go to my neighbor's house and sleep on the couch because we're all one. But like, we're all one, man. I'm just going to come over and just go into your fridge like Kramer and Seinfeld. That's not what they're talking about. We have boundaries, because I might be in hibernation mode and my neighbor might be in social butterfly mode. And that isn't necessarily, that's their experience and journey, and this is my experience and journey. That doesn't mean we can't come together for a barbecue and really choose a time when our boundaries are then able to connect. And then we go our separate ways, even though we're all connected. Does that make sense? So that's all part of this, is recognizing other people's membranes as well, and not overstepping our boundaries and not saying, well, this is what you need to do, unless that person is coming to you for that guidance. And even then, it's not overstepping and dictating to someone maybe if something that they're not ready to hear. It's feeling into that a little bit, and that's a whole other video. But as we allow our scope to broaden, and I'm hearing down periscope, so we're submerging in this submarine, in this subterranean, in this sub layers, subliminal frequencies that we're essentially activating and tuning into. We then sublingual, under the skin, subconscious. We then recreate certain boundless connections. I'm hearing rewiring. Sending it down the line. Okay. I'm getting a little emotional because it's very challenging to put into linear concept. But if you visualize for just practical purposes of the dimensions in layers like strata, and this isn't 100% accurate because I see dimensions as really overlapping, and not only overlapping, but also oscillating. So like bubbles with membranes that merge and separate and merge and separate. But for just description, what they're showing me is as we do this work, it moves down the line. It moves and it changes the frequency from the past. It changes the frequency from the lower dimensions. It literally goes down into the layers, and it re-signals and reconstructs and sends messages back in time. If we're just looking at a linear perspective, because time doesn't really exist, but it sends messages back in time, and it changes that connection to now, which then changes the timelines, which then changes the densities, which then changes the dimensional everything, which of course goes up the line. So we're affecting everything when we do these things. So no pressure. It's not like, oh, great, great, I'm affecting everything, so I really screwed up, right? We've all had those moments where we're like, oh no, I can't believe I did that. But it's about letting those things go. And now in this moment, this choice point, what would be the greatest good for all? But not from like me serving the collective necessarily. So we are of service to one another. We are of service to Mother Earth. But it is back to kind of what Dan Winter talks about, and other, he's an electrical engineer, but physicists talk about, or string theory, physics is it shareable energy? So are we having a thought that would benefit everyone? Are we having a moment of neutrality, bliss, where we are so balanced that it's good for everybody? And if it isn't, we're given that opportunity at that choice point to regroup and change it right then and there and say, okay, maybe I'm in the wrong direction. Maybe I'm a little off center, and right now I'm a little bit more ego driven, or right now I'm responding to a past life emotion. Right now I'm responding to hurt within fill in the blanks. And I am choosing my choice point based on me not feeling complete within myself, or me not integrating the hurt. Therefore, I'm making this choice. It's recognizing that. And then you come back into 0 point, back into neutrality, coming back into a space of the center of the eye of the storm. And then boom, that sends out a wave of goosebumps, essentially, right? That's a symbol that we're in having a shareable thought. It feels expansive. It doesn't feel jittery. It doesn't feel uncomfortable. It doesn't feel high, like, oh my goodness, I can't, like, it's not like that. They want me to talk a little bit about that. So there are some of us that struggle sometimes. We think that bliss is this state of like, everything is sunshine and rainbows all the time. And I just, That's not what it is. And that's great. That can be very useful and it's a wonderful feeling. But it isn't necessarily permanent. And I say this with love because some people might find that it is, and that's awesome for them. But from one perspective, it is permanent. But from another perspective, it isn't about, we're in this place and there's going to be highs and lows. It's a matter of not being so high that we lose our footing, that we're not grounded on earth. We're so high that we're in delusion about things. That takes us into a schism, right? It splits into something that is not reality. And we want to stay in this reality, yet expand in other realities in such a way that we can embody and stay grounded and bring forward those energies in balance and harmony. If that makes sense. I know this is kind of a multidimensional conversation, but it's layers. It's not allowing ourselves to get so low and so in the shadow that, it's not to say, let me rephrase that. It's not about not allowing. It's recognizing that we're in that space. And when we're so low, we don't seem like we can get out. It's stopping and honoring the fact that we're in a place of either resistance or serious shadow work that requires some integration. It may mean that we need to just be with ourselves. We may need to at that time go get help. We honoring that and that high, and is another example of not expecting everybody else to be there. So it's acceptance of ourselves and where we're at on our journey, and recognizing that not everybody else is there, even though we think they might be or they should be, because then that's delusional. That is projection. That's projecting our expectations, our reality on their reality. And they may not be shareable. And that thought or feeling may not be a shareable experience meant to be shared with the collective. It might just be meant to something for us to integrate, if that makes sense. I could go into so many different layers there. And as our perspective shifts and changes, so too do the cycles that we experience. As we allow these cycles and experiences to shift and to integrate, we allow a greater expanse into the void. We are constantly being invited to check ourselves at the door. So they're showing that there's a portal and we're getting ready to walk through that doorway. What are we taking with us? Who are we showing up as? We are representatives, and they're bringing me back to the archers of truth. We are representatives of the galactic tribes. We are representatives of the earth tribes. We are representatives of all tribes. We have experienced many tribulations. And they're mixing this word up a lot because we see it as tribulation, but we also see it as like elation. So again, highs and lows. And we've experienced these so we can become very clear on what doesn't work for us and what doesn't work for a place of gratitude for all. And sometimes it takes surfing and learning how to fall off the surfboard and get back up on the surfboard. So they're just showing me a flame in the heart and allowing that flame to assist us in hearing tiger, tiger, burning bright. Allowing us to reveal our stripes. This is a play on words. So a lot of synchronicities this week for lines, synchronicities for pinnacle, synchronicities for records, synchronicities for in between dimensions, synchronicities for like reading between the lines. So I'm hearing lions and tigers and bears, oh my. So this is reference back to the circus, right? Circa, which I'll go into in another flow. I'm going to take it back to the tigers. So this is our eye of the tiger, right? We are the sovereign beings. I'm having a reference to Bengal tiger. Like we are, this is home base. And it has to connect with everything. So it's not like we're all heart and love and light. We need to anchor that frequency and stay grounded. But we also have to recognize that it's not just us by ourselves. We have that connection that we want to bring back up to source. And we want to bring that connection back in through source. And this is what's going to create that tiger, tiger burning bright. It's going to continue, and I'm hearing tigress, like, I have a feeling this could be a huge play on words, and I'm going to maybe do that in blog time. So I'm going to end on that note. Oh, they want to just, so earning our stripes. We've earned our stripes. We continue to earn our stripes. It is a value system. What are we valuing? Evaluating what it is that's important to us. Evaluating what we are importing into our framework, our mainframe, our computer frame. What are we exporting, right? What are we creating in our reality? And recognizing that we came here to be the best that we could be and fully embody Christed frequencies, being in that space of I am here now, showing up to be the best that I can be, and that will then ripple out into everything that we interact with, knowingly or unknowingly. But if we can do it consciously, it can be even stronger. And when we do it consciously together, it can be even stronger. And that's what this is all about, right? That's what these sharings that I'm offering is all about. So thank you so much, all you tigers out there. In love and light, namaste.